Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to speak about the first 3 thoughts or steps that you should take for a less stressed life. And before we jump in, I just want to make sure that I'm introducing myself if you are here for the very first time. My name is Julia Arndt and I'm a stress and mindfulness trainer, personal development coach and keynote speaker. And I'm here teaching you all about the effects of stress on body and mind, move beyond overwhelm and exhaustion, and build a beautiful lifestyle that you love. If you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe right down here and also make sure that you hit that little bell because that's the only way of how you receive notifications when new content is online. I'm publishing new videos every Monday and every Friday, so if you hit that little bell, you will get that little notification on your YouTube channel every time a new video is coming online, and it's not every day. So you don't get like burst over with notifications. Just if you were worried about that. Okay, so let's jump in. I've been having a lot of conversations lately with my coaching clients and I'm learning always so much from them as well, which I'm so grateful for. And there's a couple of things that I've been really, that come back every time. So those 3 things, those 3 steps I would like to share with you today. The first step, the most important step, of course, in anything that you do is to build awareness. Before being able to change anything in your life, you need to be aware that there is a problem or that there is something that doesn't make you very happy anymore. So I really want you to think about awareness. I want you to think about what is something in your life that stresses you right now. What are the thoughts that you have on an ongoing basis? So there's a couple of different exercises and practices that you can do to kind of be just more aware of these things, because awareness is the most important thing before being able to make any changes in your life. So you could, for example, take a week and just note down all of the thoughts that are reoccurring and that are coming to you on a regular basis. That could be anything from I'm not good enough, I will never get there, I'm not a good public speaker, I'm not doing all of the things that I could be doing. Really just observe your thoughts and see what's kind of coming up. And usually those thoughts are connected with emotions. So if I have a negative thought, I might have an emotion in my body that makes me a little bit more tense or maybe makes my neck a little bit stiffer. And so I want you just to be starting to be aware of what is really happening. It could also be that you're out of breath on a constant basis. It could be that you're feeling really groggy and tired on a regular basis. And that kind of leads me into my second step, because I'm just thinking about one of my coaching clients that I just talked to this week, and she told me exactly that story, right? She told me, I'm always feeling stressed, I'm always feeling overwhelmed, I have so many things to do, and then I'm doing a task, but in my head I'm already doing the next task because I have so many things to do, and I'm not feeling very concentrated, I don't get enough sleep. And I was talking with her for a really long time about the effects of stress on our body and mind, because if you're looking at a stress curve, and you can Google that if you want, the stress curve looks a little bit like this, and on the x-axis we have the stress level and on the y-axis we have performance, and we need to find a balance. We need to find that magic spot between having a great performance and having the right amount of stress, because what happens when we are stressed out is that adrenaline and cortisol, 2 important stress-related hormones in our body, are activated and released. And we actually need a certain amount of stress hormone to be productive and to be focused during the day. If we don't have any adrenaline pumping through our bodies, we actually might be feeling unmotivated and unproductive. So we really want to find kind of, that magic spot. And if you are having too much stress and you're trying to perform, then you're getting into the so-called red zone. I just recently read a term that really resonated with me, and it was called hyperadrenaline overdrive. And that's exactly what happens when you're in this red zone, which means that you're having too high stress, you're having too much adrenaline all the time, and you're not taking care of releasing some stress hormones in order to get back into that magic spot, into that magic zone where you're actually productive, concentrated, and you can deliver great results. So that's really important. So the first thing is awareness and knowing where stress comes from, what stress is, and why we constantly, especially when we have a super challenging job, if we have a super challenging situation at home at the moment, why we need to get back from that red zone back over into that yellowish green zone where our magic spot is, that finds a great balance between performance and stress. And so the second step that I have for you is sleep. Oh my God. How many people of you are watching this video right now and they're thinking, I can't go to bed before 10 o'clock because that's just how it is. I'm an adult and this is just what adults do. Well, let me tell you something. I'm an adult as well, and I love to go to bed early. Because if I've been working all day and I've been sitting in front of a screen for 10, 12 hours a day, I am freaking exhausted and tired. And maybe I even did a workout during that day. And so at 8:30, I might feel extremely tired. And then think about, what do you usually do over the last like 1 or 2 hours before you go to bed? Yes, you probably sit in front of the TV, or you sit in front of your computer, or you have your phone in your hand and you're scrolling through social media. You're doing things that are not really productive, but you're still keeping your nervous system up all the time. So I want to challenge you to please just go to bed early and forget about this old notion of like, I can't just go to sleep at 10 o'clock. Listen to your body. Again, that's all about awareness. Listen to your body. And if your body tells you that you are tired, then please just go to bed and get a couple of hours of sleep and you will feel so much better the next morning. I promise you that. And just to give you an example, again, this week actually, I had one of these days where I felt like, oh my God, I'm just so tired. I don't know what happened today, but there's been just a lot of stuff going on. And at 8 o'clock, I was exhausted. So what did I do? I took my 2 books and my notebook that I always have around with me, and I laid here in bed. And I read for like I read maybe 1 or 2 pages, and then I put my audiobook on because my eyes already started to feel kind of tired, and I probably fell asleep at 8:30. So what? Who cares? Nobody cares. But you know what? I care, because I woke up the next morning and I felt super refreshed and productive and ready to jump into my day. And sometimes we just need sleep. Our body will tell us what we need. So listen to that. So step number 2 to create a less stressed life is to listen to your body and give your body the sleep you need. Because sleep is amazing. It's actually one of the most basic but most profound tools when we are talking about stress management, because your body has time to recuperate. It's so important. And also, I have a video on sleep, so I will link that here in the video as well. Okay, and then the third step is self-care. And I want to tell you a little story around this again as well, because again, I just talked to a coaching client this week and it really opened my eyes around self-care and how we think about it nowadays. We were talking again, I think I already mentioned it a little bit, she was really stressed out and feeling unconcentrated, and she has a little baby who is now 2 years old. She has a wonderful partner. And I said to her, okay, she told me all the things that she's doing. And then at the end, I asked her, so what do you do for yourself? When do you take time for yourself? And, at the beginning, she found almost like excuses of like, oh, like it's my time when I'm commuting to work, or I'm going out with friends in the evening. And I said, okay, I kind of get why you're saying these things, but it's not really taking care of yourself. And I said to her, when do you take time just for yourself, without your baby, without your partner, without commuting and having to go somewhere and being kind of in the external world with all of the influences that are, bombarding us? And she said, never. And I said, okay, well, this is exactly the point. When do you recharge? You don't recharge ever. And that's why you're feeling so tired and so restless and so unfocused. So we actually did an exercise that I would love you to do right now if you're watching this video. I asked her to write down 10 things that she loves to do by herself. You know, there's really often things kind of that are trickling in where she's like, and I like to do this with my baby. And I'm like, this is great, and you should have baby time, obviously, your mom, and this is the most important thing for you. But because you are taking care of somebody else, you have to take care of yourself. So we really wrote a list together, which is always so fun for me to see what people come up with, of the things that she really enjoys doing. So some of the things that were on there were, for example, that she really likes to redecorate her house from time to time and be creative. She really loves reading and listening to audiobooks. She really likes to take a hot bath. She likes to do exercises, sometimes stretching or yoga, but sometimes also more like, you know, HIIT kind of classes or exercises where you really get your blood pumping. I don't remember what else, but those were like the 5 or 6 things that we wrote down. And then I challenged her to try out 1 or 2 things over the next week until we talk again. And so I want to challenge you with the exact same exercise. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, please. And I have so many videos already on recharging and self-care, and I can always just highlight it so many times again how important it is, because we always wonder why we are stressed out and why we are just not like so performant anymore as we were, you know, maybe a few years ago. Well, first of all, we are all getting older, right? But then second of all, we are just always getting into that hyper adrenaline overdrive. We are pushing and pumping our body with adrenaline all day long, and we don't, like, just sleeping is unfortunately not enough anymore, because usually we are also sleep deprived and we're not getting enough hours of sleep, and because we think we need to stay up until 11 o'clock in the evening just because we're an adult or something like that. So you can already tell from my of how I'm talking about this that I really don't believe in this anymore, because I just know how great I'm feeling when I'm going to bed early, when I'm taking care of myself, when I'm sleeping enough hours. So those are the 3 big steps that I want you to keep in mind when you want to start leading a less stressed life. So let me summarize. First of all, we have awareness. Second of all, we have sleep. And then third of all, we have self-care. So I hope that I shared a couple of things with you that you can start to integrate into your life. As I always mention, make sure that you're starting small and make sure you're doing something that you really enjoy. And in order to find that, sometimes you have to test it out. And even if you have a testing period over the next 3 to 4 weeks, I hope that my voice rings in your ear from time to time and you're thinking to yourself, Julia said that I should take care of myself and I need to find this practice. And yeah, I wish you all the best with that. I hope you're finding something that you really enjoy doing. If you have something really cool, let me know. I'm always really curious to hear what people do to relax, so write it down here in the comments. And if you have any questions, you can always pop over to my website, www.bluemountainmindfulness.com, and under podcast there is a form that's called questions. And so if you have any questions or any topics you would like me to talk about, either in my podcast Stress, Develop Your Stress Resilience, or here in the YouTube videos, please let me know. I'm so excited to hear from you. Anyway, so I wish you a wonderful day or a wonderful evening, no matter at what time you're watching this video right now. And I talk to you really soon. Bye bye.